You go on a blue, sort of like a, it's similar to a corduroy kind of green. You didn't wear that. Ohio State didn't put one point on the book. They were ahead when I went to bed. I don't know. I think I had mask in.
Board of County Commissioners is now in session. We'll begin with a prayer followed by the pledge. Commissioner Jones.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. Thank you for this time you've given us to not only conduct the business of the county, God, but to swear in people to office today. Thank you for this time. Thank you for imparting to us wisdom and knowledge and discernment. In the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda would be the oath of office ceremony for the constitutional officer.
Thank you. Let's do the new officers first. Sheriff is right here. You want to come on up, Sheriff?
Come on. Come on, kiddo.
You look young to be a deputy. Let me get y'all right back over here. Would you raise your right hand? And repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution of government
of the United States and of the state of Florida,
of the United States and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of the office of Franklin County Sheriff,
the duties of the office of Franklin County Sheriff,
into which I am now about to enter.
of which I am now about to enter.
Sheriff,
you.
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh, okay. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States and of the state of Florida,
of the United States and of the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of the office of Franklin County Supervisor of Elections,
the duties of the office of Franklin County Supervisor of Elections,
into which I am now about to enter.
into which I am now about to enter.
Congratulations. That's all of you constitutional officers, isn't it? Sure. That's all of you. Okay, I guess I thought, Madam Clerk. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution of government
of the United States and of the state of Florida,
of the United States and of the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of Franklin County Clerk of Circuit Court,
the duties of Franklin County Clerk of Court,
into which I am now about to enter.
into which I am now about to enter.
Congratulations. Last is first. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Florida,
and of the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of Franklin County Property Appraiser,
the duties of Franklin County Property Appraiser,
into which I am now about to enter.
into which I am now about to enter.
Actually, you're already
Now,
there.
are you-
You folks, you got your little certificate from the certificate, you'll bring it by my office. We'll get it executed and sealed, and you can turn it in. But we need to get that done as soon as possible.
We got one more, Judge.
Oh,
Julie Pierce.
I thought, all right. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of
and
Florida,
of the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified to hold
that I
office
am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of Franklin County Tax
the
Collector,
duties of Franklin County Tax Collector,
into which I am now about to enter.
and to which I am now about to enter.
On behalf of the board, I'd like to congratulate each and every one of you constitutional officers, and good luck.
Congratulations to all of you.
Can I make a short announcement? We're going to have a reception for Heather at the elections office beginning at 10 for 10 to 1, and everybody's invited.
Thank you. Next on the agenda would be the approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Massey, second by Commissioner Lockley. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries. Next would be the payment of county bills.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Massey, second by Commissioner Lockley. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries. I guess we have to pause here for a minute. Next will be Mr. Mike Cooper. Ween's request.
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Morning.
Evidently, I'm not as popular as some other people. I've lost the crowd. I'm here to answer any questions that you still have regarding the wage increases.
Did you address the issue that Commissioner Jones had?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes, we spoke about
And what is the total of the, did you have to change anything? Mike?
No, about $70,000, as I recall.
Okay. That's what you presented at the last meeting. Pleasure of the board.
Hey, Matt. Discuss it. Mike, Mr. Cooper. How it been since we took the raises? Bring me up to date. I mean, have you needed any money or it been going
We've not
smooth?
requested any money from the county, no, sir. As I reported the last couple meetings, our collections have been historic for Weems. We've done a really good job at collecting our money. There's still major concerns with what the state's going to do with their portion of the indigent care monies, but I don't have any control over that. But right now, we still have a reserve. We created that reserve probably 3 months ago, and we've touched on it, but we haven't. It's still over 300,000 in reserves outside of our operating account.
Okay, so with these increases, you're gonna be able to handle it?
Sir, I can only say that, you know, with our current cash flow, I mean, if the government doesn't fix that lip and dish program, you know, that's $1.2 million of our budget this year. So, and they're now approaching 7 months in arrears. So, obviously, that's about $700,000 that the state owes us.
Well, we can't count that.
No, we can't.
We can't count that till we get it. So, but otherwise, it's looking good.
Otherwise, we're running pretty well.
And your collection,
Collections have been over 400,000. Actually, last month, they were almost 500,000. And if you'll recall, when we made the computer conversion, we were averaging about 370, and it went down as far as 220. And we're, like I said, we almost had 500,000 last month, so.
Any other questions, Mr. Cooper?
I just have a comment. Mr. Cooper, on Thursday, I think it is, at 7 o'clock, we're supposed to be having our legislative delegation here. It would be good here if you could come here and express your opinion about the LIP funding and seeing what they can do to help, because our legislative delegation can help on some of that stuff. And so I'm inviting you to come.
I will definitely try to make that, Commissioner. I will tell you that I've been in contact with FHA. FHA has asked me to be a representative to the legislation for the rural hospital contingent. So I'll probably be speaking with these legislators quite often here in the next couple weeks.
There's been a lot of things that were approved at the last legislative session that the state has not sent a check to the different entities. I know that the city of Apalachicola was approved for several projects, received no money. 7 months behind, just as your program that you're speaking of, Mr. Cooper. So it's not just the hospital stuff that they're dragging their feet on. I don't know if they're collecting interest on the money, and we're now fixing to go into another legislative session, and I was asking somebody, you know, they approved this money, but they've not given the money to the different entities that projects were funded for. And then they're gonna ask you, well, what did you do with last year's money? We ain't even received last year's money, or a lot of these entities hadn't. So I don't know what's going on up there in Tallahassee, but it's not just your program they're dragging their feet on. There are a lot of programs that were approved and projects that were approved that have not yet been funded. So I don't know what's going on up there in Tallahassee. Anyways, back to Mr. Cooper's request.
I make a
Pleasure of the
motion.
board.
I make a motion, we give him his request as he asked for, the way he set it up.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Lockley. Do we have a second?
I second.
Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? We did talk about this the last meeting in Carroll Bell, Mr. Lockley, and it's considerably less than what he had originally proposed, but we are giving the employees some kind of a raise, so I'm all with that. He has cut that down some, not to put the organization at risk. So without any further discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The motion carries, Mr. Cooper.
Thank you.
Next would be Victor with the Emerald Warrior exercise request. Please come forward, state your name for the record, sir.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Victor Ayala. I'm here in behalf of United States Special Operations Command out of Tampa, Florida. Basically, that's the command and control of all our Special Operation Forces which is SEALs, MARSOC, Green Berets, Rangers, and all. I'm here to, in their behalf, to respectfully request your support to conduct a military training exercise within the county and the city area. I know you're familiar with EW, he's Emerald Warrior. We done that, we started that about 5-6 years ago. Last couple of years, we have fade away, we didn't want to wear a welcome here, so we moved a little bit to Mississippi. And we're trying to come back. We're trying to come back. The dates right now we're looking at back, we're coming back at a very small scale compared to what we used to do in the past. Right now, the dates are from February 28 till the 2nd of March of this year. The exercise will encompass no more than 20 Air Force Special Operation guys that will be conducting possibly sites, what they call airstrip surveys. They go, they measure the airfields, it's part of their training. That's what they do when they go to war. When it comes in the past, we had a lot of aviation that come through here. This year is very limited. We're looking about possibly bringing one aircraft, one helicopter to do a resupply. We're possibly looking at the airport, Apalachicola Airport, or somewhere north out of here. And it will be additional aircraft, but they will be flying over 10,000 feet above us, and it'll be very minimal impact. In additional, we will ask for the support of the airport. What we plan to do with the airport, once again, keeping track of what the training is, but we want to do an official kind of survey, something that goes into the airport, into the Air Force records that will allow us, and that will be in record what kind of aircraft that type of airfield will support. And with the hopes that in the future we'd be able to do more operations. Of course, once again, with you guys' permission. Like I said, the impact is not going to be as big, or what, actually not quite even close to what we've done in the past. It's going to be small. They're going to be using civilian vehicles. They're going to be in civilian uniform. I just met the sheriff, and hopefully sometime this morning I'm going to be able to give him a briefing and get his support as well. In the past, we haven't had no issue. We have a local, Mr. Huckabee, that usually support our company. I support our efforts, so we always have that constant, contact with the community about, our exercise. The participating units, once again, for the entire exercise, it causes 7 Special Forces group, 3rd Special Forces group, 10 SEAL group, but those guys are going to be operating in all the area. Mainly here, it would be the AFSOC, Air Force Special Operation Command. Well, those exercises being conducted, we will have a representative here from U.S. SOCOM at all time that will stay in communication with the sheriff for any other contingencies or anything like that happening. That's just the whole exercise. Like I said, once again, what we're looking about is slowly trying to come back. I don't know if you remember or not. In the past, we do bring a little bit of economic impact to the area because in the past, when we bring a lot of vehicles, a lot of people will use the gas station, the restaurants. This time, we don't anticipate that. Once again, it's only around 20 guys going to be in the ground for only 2 or 3 days. Yeah, and that basically is, if you guys do approve this, or I know you guys done this for us in the past, it's a letter that basically that's an example saying yes, the Franklin County do support the military to conduct exercise here. One thing I want to add, I know I did mention, but these are special operation guys we support. Not to take away from the other forces, but these are special operation guys are the guys that when they deploy, these are the guys that constantly looking at the back guide eye to eye, that these guys are key in our success and whatever we do outside. So with your respect, I would like to, get your support for these.
Any questions from the board members?
That look fine? Yes. I just want to make one comment about the airfield analysis, just to let you know. No, yeah. Just to let you know, about 3 years ago, we had an official survey done by the Department of Defense on concrete thicknesses, all sorts of measures to find out the weight of an airplane, how much, so we've got that already. We certainly don't have any reservation in doing it again, but let you know that we had a very complete one done by DOD, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, we were part of that. I was part of that here. The Air Force running a cycle for the airfields.
Right.
I believe it's every 48 months, and then for landing strip. You got different cycle, and I think we have run that cycle.
Okay,
And we want
alright,
to be
so-
able to kind of renew it.
Because we were surprised, to be honest, we were surprised that the airfield could not support some of the airplanes.
Yeah, we were
thought.
surprised as well because we want to bring C-130s, and I guess the thickness of the concrete didn't support it.
Right.
And that's something that we really did, and, you know, we want to go to having another look. That would
Okay.
significantly change how much stuff with you guys' authorization we'll be able to do in the area.
Mr. Chairman?
Any comment?
I've just got one comment. What I would ask is that, like we've asked in the future, is to make sure that you do notification to the surrounding neighborhoods. If y'all intend to get anywhere close to any of the neighborhoods,
Yes, ma'am.
do proper notification to where it won't be waking them up in the middle of the night with guns shooting and
Yes,
stuff.
ma'am, we
As it was
go
before.
out our way to try to do that. If he's being ball aircraft or shooting glass like that, we do go to the surrounding area. And we either personally knock on the door or we leave notes.
Okay.
And then through the sheriff department, which they
I just
always
want to make
do
sure
that.
y'all continue to do
We
that.
will do that, yes, ma'am.
Yep, Travis took care of that the last time.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion that we let them have the operation.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Lockley to approve the request, second by Commissioner Massey. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
your
sir.
service.
God bless you and have a year filled with God blessings.
You too.
Next would be Mr. Allen Pierce, Restore Coordinator.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have a short report for you all this morning. Inform the board that I was on a FEMA conference call on December 21st discussing Gulf Shore Boulevard and Alligator Drive. Gulf Shore Boulevard is continuing to go through the environmental assessment process. I provided FEMA with the names and addresses of some 25 property owners on Gulf Shore Boulevard who will be contacted by FEMA about the county's proposed relocation of Gulf Shore Boulevard. Even though these 25 property owners are not affected by the relocation, FEMA is going to notify them anyway. And Commissioner Sanders, these are all the people who are east of the relocation, that basically from where the road ends back to Alligator Drive. Regarding Alligator Drive, FEMA asked me to provide a history of public dollars spent repairing Alligator Drive. I had prepared a history in 2005, and so I've updated that. And it's on the back page of my report here. You'll see those 2 pages there. From 1980, to summarize, from 1985 to 2015, a 30-year period, $3.7 million has been spent on repairing storm damage in one section of Alligator Drive. The cost estimates to repair the road from damages incurred by Hurricane Hermine are approximately $3 million themselves. FEMA staff indicated they are evaluating the trends on Alligator Point to see if there is some other proposal that should be considered so that public dollars are not continually spent on that same section of road. Now, they didn't indicate what that would be. They are aware of the erosion rates out there. They're aware of the constant problem we're having in that one area, and I explained on the conference call, it's no secret, that area could easily expand eastward as erosion continues in that area there. I mean, there's another section east of George Voss that the next big storm might easily damage another section. So I don't want to mislead anybody. There's a continuing expanding area there that is a problem. So I will, today I'll send this list of expenses to FEMA. I will say I went over this with our road superintendent last week, and one of the things that, just to let you all know, is that from 1985 until basically 2005, for 20 years there, the road department was out there all the time. And that now is sort of ancient history for some of you all. But I spoke to Howard, who had been an employee all this time, and he remembers back in those days, they were out there all the time because before 2005, we did not have a properly constructed revetment. And so basically the road department was, and Commissioner Sanders' husband worked there, all we were doing was dumping sand and rocks in that area, just trying to stop the erosion. But finally, we got a proper rock revetment built, and then we relocated the road. So after 2005, we were not down there as often. So we've had some success in limiting the amount of expenses. What's happening now is we're not down there on the small events, but when the big event comes, we still are seeing public dollars being spent repairing a section of the road. So it's still an issue. I don't have any idea how long it's going to take for FEMA to make an assessment or what they will propose at this time. This conference call was not something I scheduled, and so I do not know when they're going to call back. But I'll be glad to answer any questions about Alligator Point if you would like. I guess I'll do it right now. One of the things I spoke to Michael about is at your legislative delegation meeting, I don't know whether the board wants to press our legislative delegation about what is DOT going to do about Alligator Road. DOT has not responded to our letter, and whether we put some pressure on our legislators to say, look, we need an answer. Is DOT gonna help, is the state of Florida gonna help us or not?
Well, wait, we can do that, but we went to the office of the governor to speak with DOT back
We
in
did, right.
So I think we need to let the
Okay.
governor know that
Okay.
DOT has not responded back to Franklin County.
Okay,
I mean, that's the way,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the proper chain of command.
okay,
And if we went to the governor, we need to go to the governor again.
okay.
And that's how we did. Don't
mean,
y'all agree? Because, I mean, that's the way we went. I mean, it will not hurt to let them know, but we need to go to the office of the governor and do this. And I'll think about the man's name I spoke to from DOT that was through the governor's office.
all right.
And we'll get back in contact with him.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
And, before Thursday.
Okay. All right, so that's item number one. Item number two, provide the board with written copies, and you all seen this last meeting, but in case, say you're downloading, this is the needs assessment that was on your iPad, it was presented to you all at the last, December 6th meeting. I just printed out copies for you all today. Nothing's been changed from that assessment. So provide the board with written copies of the needs assessment sent to the board. As the board may recall, Dewberry made a presentation on the revised needs assessment on December 6th. The revised needs assessment was done after the last Restore Committee, or the RAC meeting, where the cities of Apalachicola and Carabel requested Dewberry review issues from city commission meetings in addition to the review of county commission meetings. The needs assessment is not a final document, but an evolving document, so that additional needs can be added at the board's discretion. The next step in developing the multi-year implementation plan is to direct the RAC to begin the process of developing selection criteria. So if the board is ready for the process to move forward, I would like a motion from the board to accept the revised needs assessment and to direct Dewberry to begin developing selection criteria for how the community needs would be ranked. The board will be presented with draft selection criteria when it is completed. The next RAC committee meeting, which will be January 17th here in the annex, would be the first step in our beginning the process of doing a selection criteria. So if you all are satisfied that we've reviewed the needs and you can add them as we go through the process, we need to start moving to the next step, which is decide how we're going to rank these needs.
Any comment from the board member?
And the needs are, I will admit, using the word generic. I mean, we all know the Apalachicola Bay needs protection and rehabilitation. We all know that there are other issues in the community that have been, and this needs assessment just documents that. It doesn't create anything new. But now we go through the process of seeing which ones are the greatest importance and then developing projects to satisfy those needs. So this is a process we need to go through to satisfy the U.S. Treasury in order to access our restore money.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
I know the Bay, we need, the Bay need a lot of needs, and but we got to figure out something for the people who don't work in the Bay.
Those are documented in your needs. There are other needs besides the Bay, yes, sir. And so what we need to do is decide how to rank those needs, yes, sir.
You know, I've been riding and I see all up in, it's warehouses popping up everywhere. And they paying them people good money. Why we can't contact some of them companies and put them down here? They got all kind of warehouses. They paying them people $14, $15 an hour. You just got to contact the right people.
Right, in your needs assessment, there was two big criteria, restoration of natural resources, which really talks about the Bay. The second one, though, is workforce development, job creation, Commissioner, so exactly right. Those kind of needs those concerns are already listed in here, and yes. So we need to begin to utilize this to see what the next steps are, yes. But if we don't get beyond that, I'll be honest with you, till we develop some projects, we'll never, we need to go to that step where ultimately we have money in the community to do some of this work.
I know we got a lot of land for something like that on each end of the county. East and west, there's a lot of land. And that's some jobs. I mean, and it's most stuff out there too.
Right, but and I don't mean to sort of be difficult, but if the next step is to do the selection criteria, and because without developing that and having everybody agree what our most important problems are, then we will never get any money out of U.S. Treasury. So we need to go to the next step if we're ready.
Okay.
Do Do we have a motion from the board?
Make a motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Massey, second by Commissioner Jones to proceed forward. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? The motion carries.
Okay, so we'll use this basis then to go to the RAC committee on January 17th. They'll be here. The DuBois will be sending out notices to members, and we'll begin to talk about what selection criteria are important. You all, the Board of County Commissioners, are the final say in all this, so this is not as if this is your only chance to talk about this. You'll probably talk about more than you want to.